Hey everybody, welcome to Geekoholics Anonymous, episode 181. I'm your host, Rico, here with my co-host,
Dane Cody.
Dane, Cody, and I get together once a week, talk about video games, TV, movies, and whatever the hell we like. Primarily video games, with a little bit of the comic book movies and action movies and TV series based on all the fun, geeky, nerdy stuff we love. Usually, we start the show with what you've been playing, get into some news and stuff, our public service announcements, and of course, our free-for-all section. I don't have a lot of exciting news to share over the weekend. I worked. It was a long weekend. It was Remembrance Day.
Yes, it was. With that being said, I would like to take a moment to mention that one Mr. Stan Lee passed away. Somebody who, for me, shaped more than just my childhood. I unfortunately never did get a chance to meet him, but from what I understand, he was a pretty incredible human being, besides being the biggest creator of most of the comics that I love and the characters that I love, co-creators of so many different, Fantastic Four and Spider-Man, and the list goes on and on and on and on. He either was involved in creating so many of those beloved characters or universes and worlds. And yeah, it's just sad to see him go. I mean, he did live to be 95, which is, he had a
awesome
life. Yeah. And I mean, and very few people I feel like touched as many lives as he did.
It's crazy. I don't think in terms of like pop culture, nerd culture, like impact, I can't think of another person that even comes close to mind that will even have as much impact. Do you think?
I don't think so.
Like there's famous like artists, writers, movie producers, but I don't. No one to the same level of geekdom is as well known. Like because he's also like not just in he's known in mainstream culture as well.
Oh,
right?
Absolutely. I mean, he's the George Lucas of Marvel, right? Like he's like I shouldn't say he's the George Lucas because he didn't create Marvel necessarily, but I mean he was there. So close to the beginning. Like he had a hand in creating Marvel. He had hands in creating
a lot of the biggest franchises today.
Oh, totally.
Currently, even
X-Men
now. So it's not like he was
Spider-Man and
it's just it's not like his influence was he was awesome in his 20s and 30s and he created this great classic thing that people have nostalgia for. It's something that people have nostalgia for that is still huge and bigger and more popular than it ever has been, even like now.
And he was still creating characters and worlds and universes, up until recently. Like he was, and like some of his later things that he'd tried to kind of get going, some of it didn't fare overly well. I don't know if anybody remembers Stripperella. That was his, that was, again, it was kind of a thing of its time. It was not great, but at the same time it was kind of hilarious, and
I think it's kind of hard when you knock it out of the park so many times, right?
But that being said, like he was involved in so much, and I mean, he was cameoed in so many of the films as of late, and he just, from everybody that I know that's ever met him and talked to him and stuff, he just seemed like he was a genuinely incredible human being.
Yeah, I've never had an opportunity to run into him.
I know, like I said, I was pretty disappointed that was, one of those things that obviously it won't be able to happen now, but yeah, that was a definitely sad day. So may he rest in peace.
Yeah, it's definitely.
That will be something that I feel like we will feel the repercussions of, over the next while.
And like I said, I don't think there's anyone like I can make a hero today, and I can make a comic, and I can make a company, and I don't think the ability to be as impactful or as large or as huge as he was, or just even as Marvel is now. I don't think that will happen again. Unless unless they disappear. But with Disney money, I don't see Marvel going anywhere.
I mean, somebody created Harry Potter not that long ago, and that's arguably gone on to become huge, right?
Yeah, it's pretty big, but I don't think it's... Well, maybe it is to the same level. I'm just speaking in terms of, like, comics and games and just, like...
I think the big thing with Stan is that it's not just, like you said, it's not just like he was really impactful for like 10 years or 20 years. He's been impactful for like 60 years, like 70 years.
Entire career.
Like that's the crazy thing, like he started way back in like pre-golden age of comics. Like he was involved in the golden age, he was involved in the silver age, he was involved in the 90s with with that sort of like that resurgence that happened in the 90s of like comic books
and
kind
the
of coming
downtimes
back. And then of course, like as of 10 years ago, like the whole building of the Marvel cinematic universe, like he's been producers on some of my favorite like cartoons growing up. He was involved in the Spider-Man cartoon on Fox back in the day, in the 90s, or in the early, I guess that would have been the early 2000s. He was involved in the X-Men cartoons that I grew up loving as a kid in the 90s. All of that. Like, he was involved in all of that.
That's crazy.
And that's, I think, like you said, like it's that everlasting. He lived for such a long time, and he was affecting so many people for the entirety up until the very end.
Yeah, because he is created these amazing characters.
Yep.
And was still creating and still influencing. It wasn't just, oh yeah, I remember 30 years ago when you made this thing and now it belongs to Disney and you haven't been involved. It's like, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah. No, it's, like I said,
and like you said, he was an awesome person.
Yeah. That one will definitely hit me in the feels a bit.
Yeah. That's the sad part, is it just, reminds us that, it's coming for all of us.
Yes. Yes, it is.
To me, it's like, Stanley's just going to be there forever. He's like my grandpa that made all my superheroes that I love. And, he read me these stories to bed, and he still creates these stories that I enjoy as a grown-ass man lining up at the theater to go see.
Yep. So.
It was like he was, in my mind, I don't know, it's it's crazy. Mortality sucks.
Yep.
We'll miss him, obviously.
Older. Absolutely. So yeah, now that that's out of the way, nothing really too exciting. Had a bit of a low-key weekend.
Yeah, ours is pretty chill.
Yeah, it's cool. So, with that being said, Rick, what have you been playing?
I've been playing Destiny 2. Fuck. I've been playing Red Dead Redemption 2. And Fallout 76. Very poorly. Because I have an addiction and a problem called Destiny 2.
I mean, I can't really give you that much shit because I played a whole bunch of Destiny 2 over the weekend myself.
I will say, though, I did still play some Red Dead 2, but every time I turned around, either you were online or Verlin was online or my brother-in-law. That's one of my brother-in-laws. My other brother-in-law.
Your other brother-in-law.
My other brother-in-law, Teacup, was online as well. And everyone's playing Destiny, and they're all at different places doing different things. And it's just like, well, I don't want to play a game by myself. I want to hang out and chat with my buddies. So it's like I was trying to play Red Dead, and I was trying to play Fallout. And it's like every time I turn around, someone's playing, doing stuff. And, not going to lie, I'm level 600 at Destiny, and I can
you quote unquote beat the game.
I can help a little bit, and I like playing with people.
When they did the whole thing to bring people back, which is the refer a friend thing, which is what got me to come back into Destiny 2 and pick up the Forsaken. So there's a whole quest line that you could do with the person that brought you in. So in this case, it was your brother-in-law, Verlin, my best friend. And so he and I were going through the Guardians United quest line because there's like an exotic weapon. There's an exotic sniper rifle that we could get. There's a legendary ship. There's a few other things, that we could get. So him and I on like Saturday, was it Saturday or Sunday? Sorry, we spent like a bunch of time on Sunday, kind of grinding out a bunch of that stuff, playing a bunch of the just making sure that we kind of got what we needed to do. So that's kind of what we were working on.
And he had a free pass because his wife was out of town. So
yeah, exactly, exactly. So we're almost done. We only have one other thing that we need to do, which is complete a Nightfall Strike, which unfortunately I need to be or power level 540 to do a Nightfall Strike. So I need to do a bit grinding because my power level's not there yet, which sucks because I'm only like power level 513, I think.
Yeah, you guys really screwed up, the two of you, by not getting that Halloween gun.
Yeah, well, I had just got into Forsaken like the last weekend that it was up, so I didn't really.
You could have done it.
I'm sure it would have been, but I don't
3
even know
or
if
4 hours of the same thing.
Also, I don't know that I was even like a high enough level to be able to even do
It was like 280 or something.
No. So, anyways,
I didn't stress enough to the two of you that you should have done it because getting that gun just basically
pushes your power.
It was a little bit of fast
forward.
It was like the XP boost in Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Fuck. So that was kind of what I was working on in Destiny, seeing as like the sort of the main story for Forsaken I've completed now, and it's all just kind of the extended story stuff and whatnot.
We can do a Nightfall, me, you, and him.
Yeah,
the two of us just carry your corpse along Weekend of Bernie style through the whole level.
Actually, I don't think it would even let me load it.
Oh, okay.
I think we tried. I can't remember. Anyways,
it might not. You might have to be. I think maybe it might be like a 520. You might need to be minimum.
Yeah, I don't know.
It recommends 540, but yeah, some events or modes force you to be a certain power level.
Yeah, because he was 540, but I remember when I tried to do it, it was like we got partway loaded, and then it like essentially kicked us out and said like, "You suck, you can't do this." And I was like, okay. So we've got that's the last thing we need to do, and that'll get us the an ornament or some exclusive emblem and a Borealis ornament for
the sniper rifle.
Yeah, for the sniper rifle that we got.
Sniper rifle. That was a PS4 exclusive. It's
a cool sniper rifle. I didn't realize you can change.
Yeah, it's like hard
the type of damage that it does. So you can cycle through like the three different kinds of damage, which is pretty cool.
It's not a bad sniper rifle. I liked it.
Yeah,
I have it.
Yeah,
but then I got Whisper, and basically I threw it in the garbage.
There you go.
Because Whisper is an amazing sniper rifle. I'm gonna have to get you guys through that, but if you don't know, there's a weapon in Destiny 2 called Whisper the Worm with the sniper rifle. It's got some insane perks on it, and that is it a white nail perk? I think is what it's called. Basically, if you get 3 precision shots in a row, it basically refills your magazine from air, magic bullets. Right. It doesn't take from your reserves. So if you're fighting a boss with a big sweet spot, you literally can just keep shooting this thing over and over and over, and just the DPS is through the roof.
That's awesome.
And it even has a perk called Mulligan. If you miss a shot, sometimes it returns a shot to your magazine as well.
That's helpful.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous weapon. It's like literally a must-have for like a lot of raid and just cheesing boss fights. It's amazing. Like the tanks, you can just destroy a tank. People are trying to do like heroic versions on the public events with the fallen tanks, and you can just destroy it with your sniper rifle so fast that they can't even try to turn the event heroic. It's pretty funny.
That's pretty sweet. Have you done the Thunderlord stuff?
Yeah, I picked it up after the update.
Oh, okay. I haven't tried that yet.
That has got to be the easiest exotic in the game ever.
Really?
It's such an uneventful chain or quest line, which is kind of disappointing because they've gotten so good with the quest lines with Forsaken. But I think it's open to everyone. Like maybe even if you don't own Forsaken, I could be wrong. But I feel that questline might be open to everyone. So I think it might just be here's an exotic, get yellow, get hooked, crack cocaine, first hit's free. It's awesome. It was an awesome.
It looks rad.
It was
I need to make sure to set some time aside and do it.
It won't take you long. It's not a very long. Over the last 3 weeks, it's been like one section of quest to unlock it, and this week was the last part of it. It's just kind of time.
And now it's all open.
Yeah, it was it was like time gated. And this week, if you've done the first 2 steps, it's a mission. It's like the very start of Destiny 1. Like it's an old area from the Cosmodrome.
Yeah, which is actually really interesting to me. Like that they kind of did that. Like that's kind of cool. Like,
it's not the prettiest of areas, so it's not like it's like remastered new. Like cool. It's like how I remember it. I don't know how that works. I guess maybe they just import.
Yeah, I don't know enough about it. I mean, I would.
It looks identical to how I remember it. So
that's good.
It's a short mission. It's all right. It's fine. The gun is awesome, and it's a new weapon class that hasn't been in Destiny 2. It's a heavy machine gun.
Light machine gun, yeah.
Light machine gun, heavy machine gun. I don't know what they call it, but it's
an LMG.
Yeah, it's in your power slot. That's cool. It's cool in that when you kill enemies, it like chain lightnings. So like it literally has lightning strikes that hit the ground when you kill enemies.
Hell yeah.
It's really good at clearing like mobs or low level enemies. It's just arc energy flying everywhere. It's kind of cool.
And it also has a massive clip.
It's a pretty big clip.
Like 60 plus bullets in the
Not
clip.
As big as some of the machine guns back in Destiny 1's day. My favorite machine gun in Destiny 1 was from the Vault of Glass raid. There was a LMG from that raid, and it had like 100 and something clip. It was ridiculous.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, but it didn't have the cool, amazing, like, lightning. I would say this is a better version of the original Thunderlord. Thunderlord was cool before, but this one's pretty sweet.
That's rad.
And it's not hard to get, which is great for everyone who's playing. Like, that's fun, getting the cool exotics with the cool perks. Like, that's the most disappointing thing. Like, Destiny 2 is so rad. Forsaken's great. The only complaint I really have is that just getting exotics, the drop rate is so low, and it's like there's the funnest weapons to use. Like, I finally got my first legit like weapon drop in Forsaken. What has it been, 2 months, and I've played like way more than any of you. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to complain because I did get an amazing. I got the Black Talon sword.
Right.
It's awesome. Holy cow! It's so good at like clearing rooms and just dealing with like mini bosses or like captains, like yellow or orange life bar enemies. Right. It just destroys them. It's a sword, but unlike other swords, it shoots a projectile, like an energy void. I think it's void like wave that looks like a big giant blade flying through the air, and it just eviscerates, kills people. It's great.
That's awesome.
It is pretty awesome. It's so good. I use it a lot. Between it and Whisper, it's just like, I have such a hard time choosing which one to use. Obviously, speaking of Destiny, after you were done playing with Vert, we got into some of the Dreaming City stuff. Man, that's such a cool area. And I kind of dragged him into doing the Shattered Throne dungeon, which is like one of these new things that they had added in Forsaken that was discovered like weeks after the update. Right. And it's literally a dungeon. Like, it's got like a puzzle. There's bosses. It's a mini raid. We didn't finish it because I think I maybe could have soloed it if I had more time, but it got pretty late, so I quit.
Yeah.
But you have to do it, and it unlocks a quest for the Wishender bow, which is a really cool exotic.
Sweet.
And
that's cool.
I think you should be at least 550, 570 preferably to do it.
Oh, okay.
Because the end boss, I think, is like 590 power level.
Ooh. Yeah, no, I'm just finishing up the quest to get to the Dreaming City.
Yeah, you got to unlock the Dreaming City. Once you get the Dreaming City, there's some good weekly. There's some missions in there that get you powerful gear. There's some good weeklies, and you can get a lot of gear pretty fast in there. You'll level up very quickly in there.
But isn't it minimum 540 or something to get in there?
No, if you've got the item, you can get in there. It's just a challenging area. It's not impossible.
Right.
So you want to get in there.
Right.
Because you're going to get some worthwhile drops in there. And it's such a cool area. It looks amazing. It's very fantasy. Like sci-fi fantasy. It's one of the most visually beautiful areas in any game. It's so cool. Like that Shattered Throne level dungeon. It's unreal. Like there's no areas in the game like it. I'm like, this is amazing. And it's like, not everyone knows it's there. It's cool that they have these rewards for the most hardcore people.
But at the same time, it kind of sucks because like so many players aren't going to see it because they're like, "Oh, I finished the story, I'm good." Like,
and it's like whatever. You haven't, and that's Destiny's thing. They're rewarding you for looking under the rocks, turning the rocks over and seeing what's underneath, looking in between the cracks in the walls, and paying attention to what's going on. They reward you for that, and that's the best part of Forsaken. It's like you think it's done, and you think there's nothing else to do. It's like, oh man, look at this. Oh, this is awesome. And you're usually rewarded with like a really good weapon.
Fair enough.
If not like some cool stories. Like there's like additional story stuff. Like I don't want to ruin it, but me and Vert did an Ascendant challenge last week in the Dreaming City.
He was bitching about the Ascendant stuff on Sunday when I logged on.
There's jumping.
And he was like, I'm trying to do the stupid Ascendant stuff, and it didn't go well. And
there's a lot of jumping
logged
puzzles.
Out and came and helped me.
Yeah, I would say that's the only thing that I'm scared of is if we try to do the Whisper quest because it's timed.
Right.
Is that it's got a pretty complicated jump puzzle. But actually, I think people might have found a shortcut, so I don't think you might not even have to do that anymore. So it might be super easy to do that now.
That would be cool.
So besides the crack cocaine that is Destiny 2,
yes,
I did play more Red Dead.
Okay,
I did get to chapter 3 now.
Wow,
so some stuff goes down. The story's moving along. We're at our new campsite. No surprise, it's pretty obvious that you move around in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Some stuff's happening. Some nice character development. I really like Arthur. He's a really cool character.
Yeah.
You could see that he's just like rolling with the punches, and at the same time, it's like, oh god damn it. Like you can tell he kind of wants out, or he feels bad about the stuff he's doing, but he is a bad guy.
Right.
But at the same time, he's not like a senseless like murderer bad person. He's not a sociopath. Yeah, he's just like, this is the life I live, and this is the shit I got to do. And it's like, I wish I could do something like, it's so there's some cool character development going on. The characters, and there's so many characters in this game. It's almost like a Game of Thrones movie or TV show. But I know all the characters' names.
Right.
In so many video games, when there's like more than a handful of characters, you just like whatever. You don't care anymore.
Right.
But I've done missions and had such like meaningful interactions with the characters in this game that it's like I remember all their names.
That's cool.
We've got these things that we've done, and this guy's unique because he's like this, and this guy's it's really cool. I'm enjoying it a lot. It's an excellent game.
Fair enough.
The only problem is it's not crack like enough or addictive enough that it stops me from playing bloody Destiny.
That's funny.
But Yeah, it's a fantastic game. I've been dying to play it the last few days, but then it's like, ugh. Then Fallout came out, so I got Fallout. We talked about that last week. I'm an idiot. I don't know why I bought it, because clearly I have more money than time on my hands. And I got it on PC. I purchased it. It was not provided by anyone. But we did get Hitman 2. That was provided to us.
I'm very excited. I have it installed, but I have not had a chance to get started on it.
I started it and was playing it actually on GeForce Now on my new laptop, which we'll talk about in Free For All. It's pretty. I really want to get into Hitman 2, and the cool thing is it has apparently the Legacy Pack has all the Hitman 1 stuff in it.
Yeah, so essentially if you owned Hitman 1 and you buy Hitman 2, it allows you to import all of the levels and stuff from Hitman 1 into Hitman 2.
It's essentially like a Hitman 1 remastered.
Kind of, yeah.
And it allows
all the upgrades,
a lot of the improvements in Hitman 2.
Exactly. So it's kind of like, I think I've heard that Hitman 2's got 5 levels plus the training level at the beginning. So with the Legacy Pack, that also kind of includes the 6 levels from the first game. So that's an awful lot of content, especially, seeing as you can pick up the first game pretty cheap nowadays.
Yeah, I had the first. I can't remember. I think I got the first one really cheap at some point. I can't remember how
I have the first one too.
I can't remember how I got it. I know it wasn't provided.
I think
I
picked it up on a Steam sale.
I think I got it on a sale for really cheap too. And I played a bit of it, and then it's like million other games. Like every other time.
I think I picked it up when the Giant Bomb guys were talking about it for their Game of the Year. Would have been 2016. And then it would have came out on the Steam sale for that Christmas.
Yeah,
that's when I would have bought it.
I think that's the exact same thing. It was like,
and then I don't think I ever installed it because I've never played it.
Because you're bad.
Because that's also when Nier Automata was out. That's also when so many things came out that following year. That was the year that Horizon Zero Dawn came out. It's
true.
That
the
following
Switch.
year, right? The early 2017. So yeah, and it just kind of fell under the cracks, and I never. So I'm very excited actually to get into some Hitman 2. I have not yet personally tried it, but it is installed. It's a double click away now.
Yeah. Fallout 76. I played for maybe another hour last night.
Okay.
I'm level 6.
Ooh,
I'm still liking it. Doesn't have the hooks on me like Fallout 4 did. But I see what they're going for. I'm enjoying. It's got the Fallout stuff, and I got a better gun, so it feels more like a first person shoot, like a more accurate first person shooter. Because honestly, and I think that's kind of how they model it, is that the crappy guns that you get at the start are literally crappy, so they don't want you headshotting stuff and playing like you're playing Counter-Strike or something good, right?
Yeah, even when you're standing right in front of them.
I got a revolver now, and it works as expected. Iron sights, I'm headshotting guys and blowing their heads off, and I think that's just kind of how they highlight how poor the weapons at the start of the game are.
Yeah,
but it could maybe be frustrating if you expect to be an ace with like a shitty, junker pistol.
It's not even that. I can see that if it was 20 feet away, but when I'm essentially standing next to them and I can bludgeon them to death with the gun, pointing it at their head, and anyways, yes.
It's cool, and that the story stuff that I'm doing right now, it's really still all training.
Yeah.
Following the overseer,
totally.
Doing what do they call the group? The volunteers? They have a name. There's a faction that you kind of stumble upon when you're following the overseer out of the vault. And basically they get you doing missions, which is training you how to clean water, how to make food, how to craft armor, introduction to diseases and sleeping, and all these things that you have to manage. Mm-hmm. So it's still very early in the game.
I'll be curious to check in with you in a week once you've had a bit more time.
Yeah, I really need
I'm curious if some of those... I mean, like, obviously, you generally enjoy these types of games clearly more than I... Well, I shouldn't even say these types of games, but in particular, Fallout.
Yeah, I've been a huge Fallout fan since 3. Like, Fallout 3, New Vegas, Fallout 4.
Yeah.
You know...
I'll be curious just to kind of hear like how kind of it continues on, because like I said, some of that stuff just for me is such, it's like little niggles here and there, but it's kind of death by a thousand cuts. It's just all these little things that just start to add up, and I'm just like, why the fuck am
I have
this?
no idea about like the cosmetics, the in-game purchasable stuff. Like I have no idea about, I haven't touched any of those systems at all, so I don't know how good or bad those are. I'm still in the very early missions, which are pretty, you know, they are very basic, but like I don't know how much they change or open up as you go on. But I do like the aesthetic. I like the world. I like the music. I was bumping one of the radio stations with the old timey music, and I'm like, this is what I love. Going around.
I also wonder too if like, because like part of what intrigued me in Fallout 3 when I played it was like the towns and the stories for the people. Like a lot of that, like that world building that they did, that was all the stuff that interested me and wanted to keep me playing.
In here. Like I found a town, and
so like that's the stuff that I wasn't getting. Is like those weren't the hooks that I was noticing in this. Like, because there wasn't any NPCs, because the town was essentially just deserted, and like they were like, I see what they're trying to go with, because of course it's going to be like that because you're the first people out of the vault or whatever. But at least for myself, it was a lot less like interesting. Like it's like there's the curiosity in me that wants to go out and like find stuff and learn about it, but at the same time, there's none of those relationships that are there.
Lots of hollow tapes and stories and stuff lying around. Like I found a church in this town and some reverend's notes, and I was just like, at first I was like, oh cool, there's a bunch of dead bodies here. But then I looked a little closer, and everyone had glasses in their hands or at their feet or near them. And I was like, oh, these people did like a mass suicide, you know, right before the bombs dropped, right? They were in their church and they like figured it was the end. So they all went together, and I'm like, it was really cool.
Yeah, that's fair.
There's that stuff is there. I guess, I don't know, it's not like it beat me over the head with it. I discovered it on my own. It wasn't like, hey, look at this world building thing we set over here. It was like I found it all on my own, right?
Yeah.
And I'm enjoying seeing the blip on the map of a new undiscovered place, and then finding the place, looking around, and then nook and crannies, what gear and stuff is around, junking stuff, crafting and upgrading. I am enjoying it. It is a Fallout game, and I like Fallout games, so obviously it's going to appeal to me. I haven't played any multiplayer. I really should play some, because I thought
the whole game was multiplayer.
Pardon? Well, I haven't teamed up specifically with anyone. I've seen people running around. I haven't
how are you?
I haven't tackled any quests. I've seen people running around, but it's just like I kind of like ignore them, right?
Yeah.
And no one's like attacked me or anything. It's I guess the system they have is pretty decent at stopping people from being annoying.
That's good.
Because I guess if you don't shoot back, they literally don't do any damage.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like, I think they could still kill you, but it would take a really long time, or I don't know. No one's attempted to shoot me, but the second you shoot them back, it's on.
Interesting. That's maybe not a terrible way to like go about it, actually.
I do like it, but it doesn't have its hooks in me. And then it's like, now I have Hitman. Freaking, I still have Red Dead. It's like, ugh.
Hey man, at least you're done with Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
I gotta clone myself is what I gotta do.
So, as somebody who played a shitload of Assassin's Creed Odyssey this weekend, and I messaged you this, but like, how the fuck, man? So you've got 64 hours played. I was looking at your game clock. I'm at 58. Like I'm almost at 59 hours. Like I'm like 58. 52 or something like that. Like for all intents and purposes, I'm at like 59 hours played. So I'm like 3 hour or 5 hours away from where you were when you like beat the game. Beat 2 out of the 3 stories in the game, and I am like, I think I'm at 54% of the story progression.
Yeah, I don't know what my percentage was because I never looked at the Uplay stuff. I do know I was at 64 hours though because I could see that on the save in the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But like, I saw that and I was just like, how the fuck? Like, the rate that I'm going, and I like you and I kind of discussed this a little bit before the show, but like, I spent a ton of time initially on that first like couple island, like the first couple areas, and then I very quickly realized I need to kind of walk away from a lot of the side quests because otherwise I am going to waste way too much time, and this game is going to be 300 hours by the time I get through it. So I have essentially relegated myself only to the main like gold triangle, like main story quests, and outside of that, pretty much that's kind of it. And I did do the arena. I did go into the arena finally and started the first couple layers to the arena because there's like 5 arena bosses or whatever, but they're all leveled differently. So I finished the first 2 that I was able to take on, which was cool. The arena was neat. I mean, it's very similar to the one in Origins.
Yeah,
still fun though.
The Coliseum. It was the Coliseum,
yeah.
Right? In Origins?
Yeah, the Coliseum. The gladiator battles, which is it's the same thing here. They're gladiator battles. There's the various arenas. Some of them have different like fire and all, there's different like traps and things that are set up that you got to kind of look out for while you're fighting dudes. So that was cool. I also came across my first, there's like legendary creatures in the game, I guess, if you will. And I won't give too much away because it's kind of spoilers if you're not expecting or knowing about them.
I had no idea. That was kind of surprising.
Right, exactly. So I don't want to spoil it for anybody else, but I came across my first one. I'd sort of heard in previews and reviews that there was a storyline including some of these, so I wasn't totally amazed. But that being said, I finished my first one on the weekend and I was like, whoa, that was really cool. Felt like it added kind of a lot. It just like added that other layer. And like you said, there's like the 3 sort of quests now that are going on that I'm trying to get through. But like that game is just so big, and
clearly the XP boost makes a huge difference.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can really think of is like you said, like, but like I don't feel at any point while I've been playing that I've needed to.
But you don't need to be higher levels. You just gotta
level up.
You just need to mainline the quests you're on, right?
Yeah, I don't know. And the thing is like I've been doing some of the like kind of going off over to this area and doing some of this because I know that there's like a cultist over there, or you know what I mean? Like that's
ooh, shiny.
Yeah, totally. But at the same time, I've kind of been sort of focused like, okay, well, I'm going to work on this. Like I know there's some cultists over here, so I'm gonna go work on some of this over here. Oh, hey, there's a cultist. It was actually funny. I managed to kill 2 cultists completely by accident, not even realized it. I was like,
you ran over him with your horse?
Kind of. Ran over him with my ship, actually. I was like in the ocean and I was like on my way to another quest, ran into a group of pirates and totally like destroyed this group of pirates, and the last ship that I had happened to have a cultist on it. So I was like, perfect.
There's a couple naval cultists.
Yeah. So I wasn't even expecting that, so that was kind of funny.
You just noticed that you got like a yellow drop and you're like, what the hell?
Yeah, it was like when I killed the dude and it said like cultist defeated, blah blah blah, and all this stuff popped up and I was like, shit, cool, all right, well, there's one less I have to deal with later. So that was cool. Yeah, that game's so big. I'm trying to get it off of my list here, but like I still swear I'm like 20 hours away at least from beating that game. I don't know how on earth you managed to do it in 64 hours. I'm
a professional video game player / influencer.
Yeah.
I'm just that good.
So I spent pretty much all day on Monday, which we had a day off. I spent almost all day Monday, and by almost I mean I spent all day Monday playing that game.
Was your wife at work?
Nope.
Oh. No, she was working on something else.
Yeah, she was working on some other stuff, but I
had my damn family around. I couldn't play games from dusk till dawn.
Dude, that game, it's doing a similar thing that happened to me with Origins last year. Like, there's been some amazing games this year, and that one is rising to be one of my favorites. Like, it's so good. I'm loving the story with Cassandra. She's an awesome character.
She is an awesome character.
It's a video game.
She's so
but it's
good that
built so well.
She's so good that she actually makes me consider, and like, this ain't gonna happen because I'm not a crazy person. She makes me consider going back to playing Mass Effect as FemShep, because how people would swear that FemShep was the real Commander Shepard because she was way better than the male version. Cassandra kind of makes me believe that. I'm like, maybe I was playing as the wrong character in that game.
Now you got the wheels in my head.
It's not going to happen.
Turning.
I don't have time for that shit. But a lot of people like swear by FemShep.
Neither do I, but I've never played Mass Effect 2 or 3, so might not be a terrible time to... And I own them. So, anyways.
So, I
don't have time for that.
So, by the end of the year, you'll have finished Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Well, probably, because I'm going to get waylaid this weekend playing Hitman 2, because I got to check that out, because that looks rad. And we were so lucky enough to have gotten codes for that I absolutely have to check that out. I also need to figure out some time to check out some of these wicked VR games that I've got.
Oh, man.
I was hoping that was going to be like this weekend, but seeing as my wife and stuff was here, and it just wasn't. It didn't feel right to just completely shut everything out in the world and immerse myself.
Yeah, my kid has to be asleep, and my wife has to be watching her shows. Otherwise, it's like I can't hear anyone. I have no idea what's going on. And of course, my wife loves to take advantage of that by scaring the shit out of me every time I play VR.
Yeah, and also like because the VR is connected to the PS4, like I take over the TV. Like, you know, it's yeah. So
you could play it without the TV on.
Yeah, no, the way our living room is set up is it's the camera and stuff is set up in such a way that like I could tilt the TV and set myself up in anyways.
You don't need the TV at all.
No, I know. But my camera sits on my TV.
Oh.
I need the camera. The camera is key here.
Yeah, my camera's on the table. Or on the entertainment stand so I can move it around.
So, I mean, I guess I could move it to the bottom of the TV.
That's how mine is.
Yeah, maybe I'll adjust it one of these days.
Anyway, moving along. Let's get into some news and stuff, Dane.
Exactly.
The news. We already talked about this first story, so next. Tetris Effect has an amazing throwback Game Boy level. I saw this, and I already said I was going to buy Tetris Effect, and I haven't bought it, and I'm an idiot because I could have got a discount if I bought it, pre-ordered it. So now I'm going to pay full price, but I kind of didn't buy it because I'm like, I have too many freaking games. And I know Tetris is freaking awesome, and I'm going to play it, and I want it. Seeing this freaking level is like, okay, I'm going to go buy Tetris Effect. Like, it's downloading already. I already liked it enough when I played it, and I knew I wanted it, that now I have no excuse. I'll just sit on my hard drive.
Probably.
It's a pretty well-received game. I thought it was awesome from the demo. I talked about it last week, but anyway, if you don't know, like I said, there's a throwback level to the Game Boy level, and apparently it has like the classic Tetris music that everyone freaking knows.
The Game Boy music, that's key, man.
Yeah,
it's the Tetris Game Boy music.
Tetris Effect, classic 1989 theme, hidden level. It even has like grayscale kind of graphics, and
it's kind of a greeny gray, just like the Game Boy was.
Oh my god, I'm watching the video.
You also have to hit level 50 in order to unlock it, which apparently is quite the feat. So
it like gives me chills like watching this and listening to this music. I had a Game Boy. I used to be really good at Tetris. I still have my original Tetris cartridge.
A lot of times playing Tetris on my Game Boy.
I have my original Tetris cartridge still. I don't have my original Game Boy because I upgraded through all the different versions and models, but I have the cartridge.
Mm-hmm.
One of my earliest games. Game Boy was pretty rad. I had a terrible screen. It was really hard to see, but it was rad. We should give these kids handhelds with no backlights. See how they like it. Stuff we had to put up with.
Hey, at least it wasn't like the Game Gear that sucked batteries every 2 hours. 4 AA's.
Oh god, me and my brother had Game Gears. They were terrible. It was a cool system, but it literally it devoured
batteries. If you didn't have their charge pack or whatever,
I'm surprised it just didn't have it just didn't shoot the batteries out and you slid in new ones. Literally just crap the batteries in your lap after it destroyed them.
Yeah. Because wasn't it six AA's? It would go through those in 2 hours?
I think it was 6. It was at least 6, or maybe it was 4. No, it must be. I can't remember. I think my brother still has his Game Gear. I got rid of mine a long time ago.
Oh, that was the system that
I had the TV tuner at some point somehow.
I
didn't buy it.
I feel like in my mind the Game Gear was better than it was. But it was not a great system.
No, it was not.
Not very many good games either. Like the amount of good games for the Game Gear.
If the Game Gear was the Game Boy, it would have been amazing.
Yeah.
But it was the Sega system, so it just didn't have the titles. The Sonic game on it was okay. There were some okay games on it, but it's not...
Six.
Yeah. Anyway. Niantic.
Sorry, six AA batteries.
You're fact checking?
Yes.
I remember it was bad. I can confirm that.
6 AA batteries that could run for between 2 and 5 hours, depending on...
I can't remember if me and my brother each got one, or if we pooled gifts to get one.
That sounds about right.
I think we might have each had one. But I think we might have got them late in the life cycle, so they were cheap, and I think that's how we.
Oh, okay.
I think that's how we might have got them.
Right towards the
end.
Because
I'm pretty sure my parents wouldn't have bought us 2 if they were expensive.
Yeah, I got mine right towards the end as well. I bought mine from a friend that was getting rid of his. So,
Niantic's moving along. Niantic's Harry Potter mobile game is delayed until 2019.
I got this email today in my...
They released a teaser trailer and a new logo. I have not had a chance to watch this trailer at all. If it's anything like the Pokemon one, it's probably totally full of BS and is nothing like what the game is actually like.
It's kind of exactly what that trailer is.
Oh, there's nothing in that trailer. It's literally a freaking teaser.
Yep. It's totally a teaser.
It's 30 seconds of nothing. There's no gameplay. Oh, well.
Nope. Ultimately, think of Pokemon Go, but with Harry Potter stuff. Yeah. I don't know.
I guess creatures from the Harry Potter world. I don't think I will make time to play that. They had the Ghostbusters one, and I was like, I should... No. I just stopped myself there. I thought about it for a split second. I'm like, no, I'm good.
I was very on the fence when I saw it in the App Store. I almost clicked download, and then I was like, what are the chances of me actually playing this? Am I actually going to run around and do this? I'm like, I like Ghostbusters a lot, but not enough to do that. So
I just don't. Yeah, I don't really care for any of the creatures from the Ghostbusters universe, and I'm like, I don't.
that's what I mean.
Like, Pokemon Go already sucks enough of my time out. I
don't play it anymore.
I've been playing way too much Pokemon Go.
Again?
I've been playing it ever since I started playing, like a couple months ago.
Jeez.
I'm like level 30 now. I play it every day. I'm an idiot.
All right.
Yeah.
You are an idiot. I mean, you said it.
I'm full on addicted. But we got Pokemon Let's Go coming out this week, which we'll talk about next week. Unfortunately, didn't manage to get an early copy of that. So, but for next week's podcast, I'll have some impressions on that because I am getting that and the Pokeball Plus controller.
Of course you are.
Which works with the Pokemon Go. And of course, then there's the whole importing and of characters, and so I'm really intrigued to see how that all works. And I like Pokemon, so yeah, level 30, and I play it way too much. But they made it so much better. I think I talked about this a few months ago, like the missions and the special, like the special missions and the field research. Like, there's reasons to keep playing. And there's lots of new monsters that I don't have, so...
Fair enough.
Yeah. Anyway. So I don't think I have time for another one of those, so... Harry Potter, meh. Ghostbusters, meh.
So moving along to... the Game Awards has finally been announced. Date, time, and also the nominees this year, which is pretty cool.
Was the date not announced already?
It might have been announced.
I think the date was.
I personally wasn't paying attention to the date. It's going to be December 6th, which is pretty cool. I also didn't, for whatever reason, realize that Jeff Keighley was Canadian, which apparently he is, and that's cool.
I think it's in Toronto or something.
That makes sense. Also, I did not realize that Celeste was made in Vancouver. Apparently, Matt Makes Games... He's here in Vancouver, which is pretty cool.
Just gonna knock on his door, hang out.
I know. So yeah. So apparently Celeste is up for a nominee as far as Game of the Year, as well as Assassin's Creed Odyssey, along with God of War, Marvel's Spider-Man, Monster Hunter World, and Red Dead Redemption 2. So those are the Game of the Year nominees.
Yeah, all of those games I can agree with all those nominations. Monster Hunter had me for a good month and a half at the start of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I was knee deep in hunting the monsters, which I would love to still go back. One day, maybe when it's on a Steam sale on PC, if I can get it cheap, I might just start over on PC.
If I see it on a good Steam sale, I may pick it up. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
that's a game that I still have. I'm curious about. I want to play it, and I
it's awesome.
We'll see. I know.
What's the other Monster Hunter like that we were playing?
Dauntless.
Yeah. It's like Dauntless on drugs, and 1,000 levels of like depth.
Yeah,
which I assume Dauntless.
I like that
Dauntless
a lot.
Dauntless is going to reach it one day. I see all the Monster Hunter influence on Dauntless.
Oh, for sure.
So one day I see it getting there. And Dauntless is...
I'm still really enjoying Dauntless.
Oh yeah, Dauntless is a great game. Monster Hunter World is just like, whoa. It is good. I really liked Monster Hunter World. It is pretty cool though that we got a couple like Canadian games in there. I keep forgetting that some of the Assassin's Creed games are like, well, it's an Ubisoft game, so they're made by like multiple studios, but I think the primary studio is in Quebec.
It was Ubisoft Montreal.
Yeah. So, I don't know. To be honest, right now, if I was to choose out of all those titles, and I've played and beaten all those titles except for Red Dead Redemption 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I can speak on this with authority. Authority! Respect my authority! Mom! I think God of War is my game of the year still.
Yeah.
That was such an amazing game.
It's quite the lineup.
It is quite the lineup. Like, what a effing year.
Yeah, man, 2 years, incredible years back to back.
I think this year's been one of the best years in gaming.
Yeah.
Like, in my opinion, I think this year is even better than last year. Last year was good. Like, you don't even mention this. Like, these are the best games of the year, but, like, Destiny 2 came out this year. Forsaken came out this year. Black Ops came out this year. Like, I mean, there's lots of other.
One
really
could argue
games.
that there's a Call of Duty that comes out every year.
Yeah, but Black Ops is like Blackout is really cool.
Yeah, no, it's true.
You know, Destiny 2 is probably I played more Destiny 2 than all of those games added together.
Probably.
And I don't know, not to mention other ones that we played this year, but yeah, it's a good list.
No, it's been a really, really good year for sure.
I'm gonna call it now. I'm pretty sure God of War is gonna win. As spectacular as every other game is in that category.
Yeah,
God of War was really special.
I need to pick up Spider-Man and play it because
Spider-Man was awesome too. I love Spider-Man. Spider-Man was a fun ass game. I was just smiling the entire time. It is the best comic book video game ever. That being said,
I've made I've said to myself I'm not gonna buy Spider-Man until I've finished at least Assassin's Creed Odyssey though, because it's just there's just so many of these giant open world games.
Because you might be able to get Spider-Man on a Black Friday deal.
Yeah, I know. Or I'll just put it on my Christmas list.
That's true.
Cross my fingers. Yeah. Either way, pretty cool.
I'm looking forward to the Game Awards. It's been a good show. It's been getting better.
Mm-hmm. So apparently Celeste was also nominated in the Games for Impact Best Score and Best Independent Game. There's some cool stuff.
That was a cool game. I played it on Switch. I think it's on everything.
Mm-hmm. Best Ongoing Game category, Rainbow Six Siege, Destiny 2 Forsaken, Fortnite, No Man's Sky, and Overwatch.
Oh, man. Just internet drama and gamers. The Game Awards account tweeted out vote for gamer influencer of the year. You know, their stupid fluff category. Yeah. They tweeted because Ninja is a nominee in that category. Oof, right, man. You want to see a nasty Twitter thread? People were mad.
Yeah,
and the fact that they actually tweeted out only like him as a kind of like an attention grab, because clearly that's you want to associate yourself with Ninja for the clicks it's going to get, right?
Right.
But it's like, okay, that's someone like straight up first replies like, so that's really fair for all the rest of the nominees in the category. That's not biased. And it's like, I'm like, I read that. I'm like, yeah, that's quite the asshole move. Apparently they tweeted stuff out after, but it's like, I would have been pretty upset if I was a nominee. And it's such a stupid category. Oh my God, it's so dumb. It's literally, it's for the YouTubes and it's for the social media clicks, that category. That's the only complaint I have about the Game Awards.
Here's a category, man. Best performance. So this year, the best performance nominees are Brian Deckard as Connor in Detroit Become Human.
He's a cool dude. I met him.
Christopher Judge as Kratos in God of War.
Kratos is pretty rad.
I'm going to totally butcher her name. Melisanthe Mahat as Cassandra in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Roger Clark as Arthur Morgan, Red Dead Redemption 2. And Yuri Lowenthal as Peter Parker in Marvel's Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah, he was really good.
Like, how do you pick out of that? Like, Kratos, awesome. Cassandra, awesome. Mm-hmm. Peter Parker, awesome. I mean, I haven't played Red Dead Redemption 2. I assume he's done a really good job.
Oh, yeah, Morgan is such a good character.
So...
And Peter Parker, oh my God. Yeah, that's a tough one, man. They're all fantastic in their own right.
Right now, though, I'm not going to lie. I think my vote would have to go with Cassandra.
Yeah, you had the most exposure with her.
That's
so
tough.
Good.
Right?
Yeah, she's really good. But I don't know. I think. Oh, I don't know. I think Arthur's really good in Red Dead Redemption 2. Yeah. Right now, I would give it to Kratos, to Christopher Judge as well.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah. If you haven't played God of War, man, hard. You gotta play God of War.
No, I've got 30 hours in God of War.
But I mean, I'm just speaking in general for people out there. If you haven't played it, you have to. It's so good. It's such a journey.
You know, one thing I will say, I'm looking at right now the best VR/AR category. Every single one of these is a PSVR game.
Yeah, it's the only VR that's a success.
That I feel like that's really telling, though. Like you've got $1,000 setups and everything else, but yet every single game that's on here is a PSVR game. Some of them are out on other platforms as well, but every single game here is out on PSVR.
Astrobot Rescue Mission is the VR game of the year.
Astrobot Rescue Mission, Beat Saber, Firewall 0 Hour, Moss, and Tetris Effect.
I gotta get Moss. I gotta wait for it to go on sale.
I cannot believe you haven't played Moss. Oh, that right now, like as somebody who hasn't played Astrobot yet, Moss for me is easily hands down my I
think Astrobot will supplant it just because I think there's more content and it's longer.
Yeah,
but Astrobot's pretty sweet. We talked about that a few weeks ago.
Yeah, man, this is quite the list. Like looking at the Game Awards this year, and looking at all these games that are nominated that have come out this year, and it what a fucking year for games. Holy shit!
Yeah, it's gonna be a good. It's gonna be a good show.
You might be right that this year might have been better than last year.
I'm pretty positive this year was better than last year.
There's some great games.
And we have a Pokemon game coming to Switch. And new Amiibo. There's no link for this next story, so I don't know if you know what's going on.
Oh, sorry. I wrote that in there when I was at work, and I didn't want to forget. That's all. Essentially, EA has announced that Command & Conquer remasters are happening. They're doing remasters of Tiberian Sun. Essentially, all of the original Command & Conquer and Red Alert are all getting remastered. They're going to be coming out on PC. They've actually... This kind of came up because they went out and said that they're actually getting some of the teams from back in the day to come back and work on this. So there's a studio that I'm trying to find the article now. Sorry, that it's working with. Okay, here we go. So yeah, so it is remastering Command & Conquer, it's remastering Tiberian Dawn and Red Alert. So that includes the game's expansion packs, and everything else. They're coming without microtransactions, so it sounds like these are just straight remasters. You pay for the game
in 4K with all the expansions included.
So EA is working with Petroglyph Games to develop these, which is important because some of those people that are founding members of Petroglyph Games worked on the original game at Westwood Studios, which is pretty cool. So the lead developer from the original game is coming back. The audio director and composer, Frank Klepke, is also coming back, seeing as he's Petroglyph. So I'm really hoping that they're gonna do this right, but it sounds like they're going to the right place with this. Would I rather have a new Command & Conquer game? Yes, I would.
Yeah.
But that being said, maybe if the remaster, this is the classic thing that all the studios are doing right now. We're going to remaster the game. If the remaster does well and people seem to want it, if they want it, then that's a good indication that if we make a new one, that people are going to buy it, right? So yeah, so it's sounds like EA has said that it wants to release the remasters to celebrate the franchise's 25th anniversary, which that would make it probably a 2020 launch. So it sounds like these are still a ways away.
Yeah. They haven't even started work. They're just organizing the team.
It sounds like they might be laying the groundwork, but yeah, they're still early. So nonetheless, that's cool. So
PUBG's coming to PlayStation 4. Surprise!
It is December 7th.
Like,
get your PUBG on.
Like nobody knew that was happening. So clearly the Xbox had a year exclusivity deal.
As terrible as this sounds, I'm going to say it anyways. Does anybody care anymore?
I'm sure some people care. It's still one of the biggest played games. It obviously lost a lot of steam compared to Fortnite, and a lot of people wish they could like have a fraction of the success of PUBG has. Like, you know, people
for sure.
People poo on it. Like, I'm pretty sure it still has hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of concurrents playing it every day. But yeah, for the most part, nobody cares.
Compared to a year ago,
yeah,
though,
if this came out 6 months to a year ago, it would have been probably much more impactful for PlayStation. Because like,
I feel like PUBG was this game where it took off like this wildfire that I hadn't seen in a game in years, and it shone incredibly bright for a very, very brief period of time. It was like, and then it kind of, it was like the I don't know if it was the development studio, the publisher, like they just started making like weird choice after weird choice after weird choice, and now here we are a year later, and Fortnite has vastly surpassed it.
It's definitely taken the wind out of its sails, that's for sure.
Totally. And you know, they're now bringing this out on PS4,
where you already have
bundle
Blackout
stuff. But that's the thing, is like it's already got Fortnite. It's got, you know, Bobo, Blackout, Black Ops, you know, Black Ops 4, Blackout mode. So like all of that stuff is kind of out there already. And yet PUBG is still in this weird spot where it's like the game is still really buggy. The game is like, it's definitely better than it was.
They haven't gotten their esports scene together. The patches have
they're still trying to figure out. I think that by the time they figure out their esports scene, there isn't going to be one, because everybody's moved on to other things already. You know, like, yeah, it's a weird thing. Like, not to say that, you know, like you said, it's still a huge game. It's still a very, very big game. But I feel like this is definitely it's also a game that you have to pay for, right? Like, where, you know, if you're one of those people, you could play Fortnite for free, or you could pay $40 Canadian and buy the base game of PUBG. Like, it's, you know, you still have to pay for the game. I don't know. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. I don't know. Like I said, I just don't know. Like, for me, like, I definitely won't be picking it up. But I'm sure that there's enough people that only own PS4s and stuff that have heard about this PUBG thing, and they probably want to get in on it. So I'm sure it'll do fine.
Yeah.
But it's a weird thing when I think about it. It's just kind of like, it just feels a little bit like, yep, okay, well, it's here now, but cool. I don't know. So, anyways.
So, December 7th.
Yep.
What do we got next here? Yes. Last weekend, XO18, the Xbox event that happened down in Mexico, had a bunch of announcements. Well, to be judged on whether they were amazing or not is to be questioned, but Microsoft made it official, the rumors of them buying Obsidian and In Exile. So still, you know, building out their studios. Obviously, it's going to be a while before we see the fruits of this labor, but this is definitely going to be all stuff I'm sure when the next Xbox comes along, or in a couple of years, Xbox is going to have a pretty stellar exclusive year, which they've kind of been lacking the last little while. And those are the guys who did, like, you know, countless old school RPGs, Fallout New Vegas. There's a lot of talent there.
Aren't they the guys that did? What was there was like a spy game. It was almost like Mass Effect with spies. I swear that was Obsidian. It was one of those games where it didn't do great, but it had a lot of potential. I swear I've got it. Hold on.
I don't know. They do Pillars of Eternity, Fallout New Vegas. I don't know what In Exile does. I'd have to look it up.
Alpha Protocol. It was them. Ha!
That's In Exile, right? Oh, no, that's
Obsidian.
Yeah. Dungeon Siege.
Shit, I forgot they did Dungeon Siege.
Dungeon Siege 3. Knights of the Old Republic 2.
Ugh. A lot of people thought that was the best Knights of the Old Republic.
I never played it. But yeah, there's some good gets on Microsoft.
What's In Exile done?
I don't know. Look it up. Crackdown 3 got a release date. February 15th, 2019, and will be part of Game Pass. They showed some multiplayer and then moved along. I didn't watch the presentation, but apparently I heard that it was like, hey, Crackdown 3 is coming out. Okay, next. I don't know. I played... and the original Crackdown is free in the Microsoft Store until November 30th, and it's back compat. PUBG.
That's pretty cool. Haven't already played it.
To take the wind out of Sony's PUBG announcement, PUBG's coming to Game Pass on Xbox.
Sweet.
I think it's already available. I think it's available now.
In answer to my previous question, In Exile, as of right now, it looks like they are working on Wasteland 3, which obviously is a sequel to Wasteland 2. They did The Bard's Tale 4, Borrows Deep, which came out earlier this year. They did A Mage's Tale, which was an Oculus Rift game, apparently, in 2017. It looks like kind of a lot of these types of Unity, sort of top-down, sort of old-school RPGs, for the most part. So, there you go. That's kind of what Exile's been working on.
Where were we? That was PUBG's come to Game Pass. Hellblade's come to Game Pass. Improvements to the Windows Store. Final Fantasy 13 series is getting backwards compatibility. All the existing exclusives like Sea of Thieves, State of Decay, Forza Horizon, Minecraft, they're getting new expansions, new updates, new content. They showed all that stuff. Not exactly amazing announcements, but, you know. The mouse and keyboard support, they're talking about coming to 14 games, is actually, as of we're recording this, is now out.
Yes, I did
today.
see that.
Winter of Arcade is coming back later this year.
Interesting.
Basically said it exists, but no announcement of the games. And then, of course, 16 games total were announced for Game Pass. Games that are coming that have yet to be released, like the new Ori. I guess one of the bigger announcements was this Void Bastards. It's coming to Game Pass, right. And I believe it has some BioShock pedigree involved with the development of it.
Yeah, one of the co-creators of that studio was
I didn't actually see
involved.
The trailer to it because I think it was like Saturday. Was it Saturday afternoon that this happened for us, our time?
Yeah, it was like Saturday, kind of early afternoon-ish.
Yeah. I did not see this.
Interesting.
So
Void Bastards has got a very unique style to it.
Yeah, it looks
like cel-shaded. Looks really neat, actually.
And then
yeah.
I guess today on Game Pass, they announced that you can preload games that are coming out. So, for example,
That's cool.
Crackdown 3, you'll be able to preload obviously other first-party titles as they're released. That's kind of cool. Oh, I like Game Pass. Game Pass is great. So lots of news. Any megatons? I don't think so, but
no. I lots of little things that I think make up important stuff. But yeah, I didn't feel like I didn't hear any of the announcements.
I heard it was a good.
Holy shit! Are you kidding me?
It was entertaining and it was a good show at least. So
yeah,
but I didn't. I personally didn't watch it. That's just what I've been told. That's it for news. Moving along to public service announcements. PlayStation's Black Friday deals were revealed, so you can get a preview of those. As with Microsoft's and Xbox's as well, I believe there's a link. I don't have a link in our outline, but I'm sure if you search it, you can find all the deals. Reduced controllers, games, consoles. I think for Black Friday for Xbox, you can buy an Xbox One X at the lowest price it's ever been.
Right.
PSVR is on sale again. I don't think it's any cheaper than it was last year. I think it's just
$249 Canadian.
Yeah,
that's really good.
Which system is that? That's the base one, right?
PlayStation
Camera
VR
and
systems doesn't say.
Yeah, it's the one with the camera and the headset, no move controllers. Yeah, I think they were $190, but it's an updated headset, I believe. I don't think you can get the old one anymore. I think it's only the updated version now.
I hope so. That would make sense.
Then Spider-Man PS4 bundle. It's not a Pro. It's $199 American or $259 Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
And again, Xbox has like multiple pack-ins. They have, I believe, a Battlefield one, Forza one, and I think you also can get another game on top of it.
Interesting.
I don't know. Their Black Friday link was kind of confusing because it didn't show any of the prices. It was all
$50 controllers. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Select DualShock 4 controllers are $50.
$40 American. I think I need another controller.
I definitely do. So
expensive.
I know. So when they're this price,
I just love how it's like Black Friday deals is like they're out at the start of November. I swear these might have been even like revealed before Halloween at the end of October.
It's getting pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, it is really ridiculous. And a reminder for PSAs on PC, you still have 4 days till November 18th to get a free copy of Destiny 2 on PC. So, like, what are you doing? Just launch your Blizzard launcher and app and just even add it to your account if you're never going to play it. So then you just have it, and maybe if you're really cool, you get it, and then you message me on our Discord, and then you play with us. That'd be even cooler.
Well, that seems,
I can open up my backpack. You could jump in. I can carry you through some dope content while we shoot aliens in the face and watch their heads go. Their heads don't snap. They're supposed to pop or explode.
Fair enough.
Yeah, with that's it for public service announcements. Let's get into a free-for-all section.
Free-for-all.
So, I got a new laptop.
Yeah, we talked about this.
I got the new MacBook Air. Whee! It's so pretty. It's small. It's fast. It's beautiful. I love it. I don't know.
Cool.
I had the 2013 MacBook Air. Updated model from back then. So, and to be honest, I did not need to upgrade it. It worked perfect. There was nothing wrong with it. It's still super snappy. There was no it did what I wanted. A thin and light, fast laptop that lasted forever. It did exactly what I needed to do. It's more that my wife's old MacBook that we got a really long time ago, actually 10 years ago now, it's been getting a little long in the tooth. I put a new hard drive in it. I repaired the trackpad, and it works perfectly fine. It's just slow.
Yeah,
just the stuff's a little more demanding. It only had 2 gigs of RAM, which is crazy.
Wow,
I know.
That is crazy.
For 10 years ago, I must have cheaped out. I should have doubled up on that. But I could. That's one of the Macs that you could actually expand. I think that's what it was. Is I didn't buy more RAM because I meant to go to do it myself, and I just never did it. because it ended up becoming
Fair
my
enough.
wife's computer, and at that point I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's been getting a little long in the tooth. Like, stuff never works. Certain websites don't work, and I don't know if it's the computer, if it's more my wife, because it's a clean install and it's a brand, like I said, a brand new hard drive. But you know, I'm like, hey, there's a new MacBook Air. I love my MacBook Air. Hey, the new MacBook Air looks awesome. It has all the stuff that I wish my old MacBook Air had.
Fair
I'm
enough.
gonna get that, and you can have mine. Everyone wins. I get a new computer. She gets a new computer. Everyone's happy.
There you
I
go.
just happened to get it today. I was experimenting with it during my lunch break with some remote play and some GeForce Now. That's actually how I was playing Hitman, was through GeForce Now on it. It's kind of cool. It's got the touch ID, so like you don't have to put your password in. You just scan your fingerprint, which is kind of cool. Which a lot of laptops have. Like,
I was gonna say,
that's a very
definitely
that's a Windows thing. Like Windows laptops, the Retina screen is very pretty.
It's about time.
Yeah, so nice, and it's a much higher resolution. Like it's a 1610 resolution. It's like a 2000 something. It's a weird resolution. Like Macs are just weird like that. But
I think it's the same resolution as my
is your Razer Blade?
as my Razer Blade
But
still.
it's got it's great. I love it. I'm super happy. I just got it, and I'm already in love with it.
Good.
But I guess the
happy
one
for you.
complaint I will have is that it's just all it has is like USB-C. Just now I got to get
Living that dongle life.
Yeah, I got to get that freaking dongle. Well,
You gotta get a
or
dongle
I
for
can
everything.
update my equipment that I don't need dongles, but I do. I already have a dongle, so
As somebody who deals with the new Macs on a very regular basis, I can say that I fucking like their fucking dongle life is my goddamn nightmare.
I don't really plug
moving
much
on.
stuff into it, except for a mouse when when I'm playing stuff.
You're using it as a laptop. There's a lot of people that they buy MacBook Pros and they use them as professional machines, and they need to plug keyboards and mice and multiple monitors and other shit like that into them. And
I can see that becoming a disaster.
it's a fucking nightmare. Anyways, that's future Dane's problem.
So you saw this, right? The Detective Pikachu trailer was released.
I did.
And I think
This is one of those things that should be awful. I saw it and I was like, what the fuck? This is going to be terrible.
it was like
What are they
when
doing?
I think we talked about the story of them making this movie, didn't we? And we're like, what are they doing?
Yes. And then I saw the trailer, and even at the very beginning, I was like, oh, fuck me, what the hell? And then by the end of the trailer, I was like, yep, I'm on board. Let's do this. Okay,
Yep.
that seems pretty rad. It should not be good,
No,
but
it has no right being good, and then it turns out that it's freaking amazing. Looks like it's going to be amazing.
It looks like it. I mean, it at least has the potential to be really cool. We'll see whether or not they follow through or not.
Clearly,
but,
a lot of that is to do with Ryan Reynolds' humorous portrayal of Pikachu.
Yeah, when I heard Ryan Reynolds was going to be Pikachu, I was like, what the hell?
It just didn't make sense.
How is this going to work? Yeah, exactly. And then when I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense.
The trailer is in the show notes. If you've got a not crappy podcasting app that can click on links, if you haven't seen the trailer, you should definitely watch it.
You should definitely watch it. It looks ridiculous and awesome in all the right ways.
And then you have a note here. You saw the Grinch.
Hell yeah!
We're
My wife and I went and saw the new Grinch.
We're gonna go see the Grinch. Speaking of the Grinch, before you get into it, we bought like one of those yard Christmas inflatables of the Grinch.
Nice.
Our daughter likes. It's one of the stories. It's in the nighttime bedtime rotation right now.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Wow. They I honestly haven't laughed that hard in a movie in a long time. I was laughing out loud a lot. I don't know, at least for me, like it hit the humor, it's kind of that dark humor because he's the Grinch and he's being horrible to people, and it just, I don't know, it hit real well for me. I really liked it.
I haven't even seen a trailer for it.
Wow. Living under a rock much. I mean, it's animated. I think they did a really cool job of sort of reimagining like Whoville and the Grinch and the whole story. I thought it worked really well. I thought they kind of fleshed out. I really liked their version of Lisa. I want to say Lisa, but Cindy Lou Who. I thought I really liked their version. They fleshed her out in a really cool way. I thought that Benedict Cumberbatch absolutely nails it as the Grinch. Just awesome. Really, really good. My one complaint that I had was the soundtrack to the movie is awesome. It's done by Danny Elfman, and he kills it. But some of the musical numbers that they chose, like they had, I believe it's Pharrell does like a sort of his take on the Grinch song, like "You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch," that song. And for me personally, I felt that it fell really flat for me, like, and it should have been a really like it should have hit hard, I felt. But it didn't. That was kind of my one disappointment, is like they kind of started in and I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting, and then it just that musical number for me just kind of fell flat. Outside of that though, like I loved it. They introduced some new characters. It's still the Grinch, don't get me wrong. He steals Christmas, so on and so forth. You know, you kind of know what you're going to get, obviously, if you haven't been living under a rock for the past 30 years or whatever. But I really liked it. I really had a good time with it. We saw it in the theater. We saw it in IMAX. I would recommend, if I was going to see it again, I would try and see it in 3D, because there's a bunch of scenes that you can tell are definitely made for 3D. And the IMAX
coming out in your IMAX face and stuff.
Oh yeah. And like the theater that we saw it in was IMAX, but it wasn't in 3D, and it was definitely like we were watching it and we're like, shit, we should have saw this in 3D. Which is partly on us, because I actually thought when we got the tickets that they were 3D, and then anyways. So so take that with what you will. But it was really nice. It was really fun.
I think we might catch it this weekend.
Yeah, no, like, family friendly, whatever. But yeah, I like I said, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. So there you go.
Can't remember the last movie I saw in the theater. May have been Infinity War.
Wow, it's been a while. But then again, you have kids and stuff.
One kid, but yeah. They make it more challenging, that's for sure.
You know what I meant.
I have so many scene points. So if you're not Canadian, you might not know what I'm talking about. We have like points that you get for watching movies. Basically, watch 10 movies, get one free. But I also have a credit card that gives you points for this as well, because I don't know, most credit card reward programs suck. And
this is one that you can.
This one's decent because it's like you could use it at restaurants, you could use it at the movie theater or whatever. Yeah. I have like 8,000 points. Like I have enough points for like 8 free movies right now. And it's like, and I don't watch movies at the frequency as I used to.
Yeah, well, they increased it. It used to be that you would get to see like a 3D or an IMAX film like for 1,000,
1,500
but
points.
now it's 1,500.
Yeah,
so
I don't.
But a regular movie's still 1,000.
3D.
So
3D's for weirdos.
AVX. Your fucking face is a weirdo.
Dane.
Yo.
I think we have an episode 181.
I think you're right.
Under our not written in stone 90 minutes.
Sure.
Oh, man, we're over now. Damn it. Ruined it.
You had to go and fuck it up.
House cleaning. You can follow me on Twitter at RickF, no KRICF.
As always, you can come hang out with me on Twitter at Dane Cody, at DAYNECODY.
Remember to join our Discord. I can't remember the short link for that. I'm really bad. I created a short link for it, a bit.ly.
Good job.
Maybe bit.ly. No, I'm not even going to try. But anyway, join our Discord. It's in the show notes. If you can't find it, you probably shouldn't be on the internet. How's that?
Oh.
I don't mean to be that harsh, but really it's not that hard. I'm sure ask Google. Hey, Google, what's the Discord? And it'll probably tell you. Maybe.
Yo, Google.
Hey, yo, Google. I love that. Oh, it's so funny. My daughter mimics me when I talk to the Discord or to Discord. God damn it, to the Google.
To the Google
because I have it all tied in with the smart lights and stuff now. So now I can be like, "Hey, Google, turn on the kitchen lights," and she mimics me and she says everything I say, and so she'll just randomly be talking to Google and trying to give it commands. She's not in the same room, so it never picks her up. I should probably train it to pick her up, but it's pretty cute. It's pretty entertaining. Moving along. Make sure to follow, subscribe to us at the YouTubes, the Facebook, the Instagram, the Twitters. We're Geekoholics everywhere. And if you're on an Apple device and able to leave us a nice review, Apple Podcasts or iTunes, that would be fantastic because that obviously helps us discover new listeners and grow the show. And we don't ask for much. Well, besides the 90 minutes plus of you listening to us idiots chat about video games and nonsense.
Heck yeah. But they knew what they were getting into.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, until next week, we're out.
Catch you later.
Peace.